Hello everyone and welcome back to Strange Wonders. As always, I'm your host Mr.G. In this episode, we're talking about one of the strangest mammals to have ever existed. Well, I mean it still exists, so it should be... You know what I mean. What are we talking about? Well, in this episode, we're talking about the ever-famous... the platypus. The platypus, Ornithorhynchus anatomus, is a mammal. It's kind of an insectivore. Basically everything it eats is an invertebrate, so I'm calling it that. Its scientific name was described in 1799, and it lives in Australia. Now, the platypus is easily recognizable due to its distinctive features. It has a tail similar to that of a beaver, as well as webbed feet and a bill like a duck. When it was first discovered, everyone thought that the platypus was a complete hoax, with some Europeans even trying to pull the bills off of stuffed specimens. But, eventually, there was overwhelming evidence proving that this guy existed, so people just kinda had to concede. In addition to its strange appearance, the platypus possesses several other unique attributes. For one, while underwater, they hunt not by light or smell, but rather by detecting the electrical fields given off by muscle movement. More famously, though, is the fact that as a monotreme, the platypus is one of the few mammals who lays eggs, females laying around 2 at a time. Like most mammals, the platypus feeds its young with milk. However, since platypi don't have nipples, they instead sweat their milk out. Gross. Male platypi are also in possession of a venomous spur on their front flippers. While the purpose isn't completely known, it's thought that it has something to do with mating. This venom isn't lethal to humans, but it is extremely painful, and people who have been stung have said that the pain can last for weeks. So yeah. As you could tell, the platypus is a very weird animal indeed. Now that we got that out of the way, let's look at the card. Honestly, if these living creatures cards, don't expect me to say terribly much, because for a lot of them, since they're animals that are still alive, they don't really have much to mess up with, so 10 out of 10. Now, when it comes to platypus's relationship with humans, it's fine. Platypi aren't endangered or anything. They're considered near-threatened, so they're not endangered, but they're not the most common thing either. Currently, there's nothing really risking platypi extinction. They're not exactly the most popular poaching subjects, so they're kind of fine, but they're still near-threatened, so we should just keep an eye out. Now, when it comes to captivity, platypi aren't really in it all that much. In fact, the San Diego Zoo is the only zoo outside of Australia to have them. So, yeah, you want to see one, go to San Diego, unless you live in Australia. In addition, the platypus seems to be the inspiration for the Pokemon Psyduck. I say seems because honestly, I keep hearing conflicting reports as to if Psyduck is based on a platypus or an actual duck. To me, he looks like a platypus, but whatever. He could also be a duck. Who knows? Oh yeah, and don't forget the famous character Perry the Platypus from the Disney show Phineas and Ferb, who is blue for some reason. Although I should bring up that in 2020 it was actually discovered that platypi glow blue under ultraviolet light. So, I forget where I'm going with this. Well, that's all for this episode of Strange Wonders. Join us next time when we talk about a guy with a weird nose. Bye!